I especially wanted to see this because I wanted to see the big explanation, right? For why Orton turned on Edge, for why he's done all these things he's done that we've been following, right? Caved Matt Hardy's head in twice after turning on his old friend Edge. Broke up the old gang, so to speak. And so Beth Phoenix comes out. Everybody knows she and Edge are married. And Beth was in OVW, and she is always taking the business seriously. I always liked her. She was always fucking on time and worked hard, et cetera, et cetera. I've always been an Edge fan. I'm happy to see them happy together and living in the mountains of Asheville and with nice children, if that's the kind of thing you like, which apparently they do. So I'm happy for them about it. And they could make something out of this because Beth isn't just some fucking random wife of a wrestler. She's also been a star wrestler. And she's well known and she can work. So there's all kinds of things they could do to make this interesting, right? This was not one of them. And when Beth came out, Orton interrupts, he comes out. I liked that Orton tried to give her the hug and then offered the handshake or whatever, and then Beth fired up on him and called him a son of a bitch, and Beth was doing a good job with the material that she was presented. And so did Orton. Orton, especially when he got into it in the middle of it, he did a great job delivering the story that he was told to deliver. But this was so Hollywood writer-ish. It was a good, long story, but a complete expose, first of all, of the business. Me and Edge, one day, kid, we'll work together. Not team up together, but we'll work together. And then steal the show together. He came out and said that. So it's complete expose, which then the logic becomes, okay, Edge told young Randy Orton when he got into business maybe that what they one day could have fake matches together with each other and tear the house down and steal the show. But now he really caved his head in because of the fake matches that they used to have. Do you see where I'm going with this? Why is what they're talking about now real when they've just talked about all the fake shit they used to do? Then it became an episode of fucking Leave It to Beaver as he went through all the various personal trials and tribulations of the family life, the kids, and his, the Edge and Beth have the kids and the wife and the dogs and the whole 9 yards while he had a fucking bad period and Edge saved his life and Edge was built up to sound like a saint. And then the explanation for why that Randy Orton, after having numerous fake matches against this man all across the country, and then this man saved his life for real from all the bad decisions he made, and he's so happy that fucking this man has a happy home life, that the reason why that he turned on him and bashed his head in with multiple metal steel chairs was to save his life and keep him away from wrestling so that he wouldn't get hurt again and not be able to enjoy his family life. Which is like me telling you, Brian, you keep roller skating, I'm afraid you're going to break your ankle. So I'm going to cut both your legs off with a chainsaw, and that way you won't be able to break your ankle. What the fuck did this mean? What did this mean? Help me.
I have no idea. I mean, if you were coming to me for an answer, I have no idea. It makes no sense.
He, honest to God, said that he didn't want Edge to come back full-time and possibly hurt his neck again and not be able to have a good quality of life, so he decided to fucking attack his good friend that saved his life, pummel him into insensibility, and cave his fucking skull in with 2 metal folding chairs on the off chance that he might get hurt again in wrestling. He's going to make sure he doesn't have that happen to him by fucking crippling him and making him a paraplegic. The fuck? This was the most convoluted, stupid explanation I have ever heard. And I even wrote, Randy Orton is doing a great job with this, but it's caca. And then, while Beth has to stand there and cry minutes on end while he gets this whole thing out, then he turns around and blames, actually it's Beth's fault instead of Edge's fault, because Beth is an enabler and she made it possible for him to do this, made it possible for Edge to come back. So she made Orton do what he did. He had to do it. This is like fucking Jerry Springer, where they started working and they did a few shows and, said, well, fuck, we don't really have this down yet. It wasn't even good Jerry Springer. And then Beth slaps him. Good slap. They stared at each other forever. The fans are now chanting RKO. So now we have built a situation where the heel has given the babyface a potential career-ending injury. His wife has come out to give the people a medical update on the babyface, and now the fans are chanting for the heel to cripple the babyface's wife. And they're chanting RKO. He calls her a bitch under his breath, which was, I'm sure, her cue to kick him in the fucking gonads, where he then flies into an RKO, and boy, she sold this great, because she is a great fucking athlete. And he dropped her, and the people popped like the goddamn free money was being given out in the arena. And then Orton leaves, the announcers sell it like a funeral, and suddenly now, whereas when Orton was killing Edge, it went on for minutes at a time and nobody came out. But now suddenly all the boys in the back that are friends of Edge's come out to, maybe they wanted to cop a feel of poor Beth while she was laying there. No. But now there's a bunch of the boys out there to help, but not a single uniformed EMT, no back brace, no stretcher, no nothing. They go off the air with a bunch of the boys wringing their hands going, should we give her CPR? Yeah, I can touch her tits that way. This was... It was a great RKO, a great physical angle. If it had had promos by both Randy Orton and Beth Phoenix from the heart about any issue that could potentially be believable between Randy and Edge, this would have been fantastic and would have built pay-per-view matches and interest and attention. But it was a great RKO and a great physical angle, preceded by shit they didn't believe, said in a fashion that they didn't buy. And the end result was the fans cheered wildly when the heel attacked the babyface's fucking wife. So I'd say that was a fucking F. And not because of the talent. Once again, because of the fucking writers and these fucking Hollywood fucking morons. Ugh.
The whole show is formatted so poorly.
So that's that. And
how many weeks does a show end where you act like, you're like, oh, I just wasted 3 hours watching this shit?
Here's my notes. There we go.
Like, there's nothing rewarding. There's nothing that makes you want to come back and watch more.
Next week, we're starting SmackDown. We're going to freshen this thing up a little bit.